I am an agent of the Nine.
Where are they?
The Nine. That's a name I'm sure you've heard of if you're familiar with Destiny, whether it be from Xur or whether it be from the big talking head. The Nine have a complex history in Destiny, and since the new activity Dares of Eternity is here and all of its unknown space goodness, I figured it's time for another Lore for Dummies video to send off the year. Before we begin, I want to say that a lot of the Nine story is left up to your own visual interpretation, and that the Nine still have a lot of story left to go, most of which I believe will be explored in Lightfall and the final shape for reasons we will touch on later. So when the time comes again, I will probably make a follow-up video. As always, before this video begins, this series is just as much for me as it is for you, since I am the real dummy when it comes to the lore in Destiny. So from one dumb brain to another out there, I hope this video helps you learn a little bit more. As always, via chat or a chatette, like, subscribe, comment on anything we missed, or update the video here with new stuff. Come by my live streams at EvanF1997, where we have a deluxe Witch Queen giveaway every single Tuesday night, and use code Evan at GamerSubs for a much better alternative to coffee and energy drinks. Let's begin. Lore for Dummies! Some footage in this video is from players around the community. Their links will be in the description of this video, as well as the music too. Also some footage? Me, live on Twitch at EvanF1997, where I live stream almost every single day. Link to the stream in the description. I'll be seeing you there. Let's throw it all the way back to the start of the Destiny universe. Matter, time, things that make us all go, ooh. And but nobody actually understands them. We have Destiny science. This is where the Nine could have begun, but we have very little understanding of their origin in Destiny. I want you to think of the Nine like that scene from the movie Interstellar. You know, the one where Matthew McConaughey turns himself into a bookshelf. Yeah, drifting matter trying to make contact with someone out there, hoping that someone on the other side can interpret what is happening, or in the case of the Nine, being a bit more upfront about it. The Nine story can also be categorized or inspired by cosmic horror, a genre that is very confusing since it provides no true closure. Basically, cosmic horror means that the power or fear we should feel from the Nine is the fear and awe we feel when confronted by a phenomena beyond our comprehension, one whose scope extends beyond human affairs, or guardians in this case. The typical horror in this genre derives from the realization that our human interests, our desires, our laws, and our morality have no meaning or significance in the universe at large. Now, this doesn't mean the Nine are necessarily evil though. We are just sort of pawns in their game, ants to be observed. Destiny takes the normal cosmic horror approach and twists it for the Nine, however. Since we're in the future and we're these Chad Guardians with superpowers, we have a giant bouncy ball in the sky, and we're immortal until our ghost pops like that one dead robot, or until we hit a zone with a little slashy slash in it. So the Nine have interest in us, and we're not insignificant. We may never truly understand everything about them, but we're mostly not interfering with cosmic beings like a lot of H.P. Lovecraft's work. Instead, those beings are interfering with us. The name the Nine comes from the Egyptian word Ennead. The Ennead, or Great Ennead, was a group of 9 deities in Egyptian mythology that worshipped at the Heliopolis. Now, in Destiny, the Nine are a group of enigmatic entities affiliated with the planets of the Sol System, our Golden Age planets that we see in the game. This is where they draw their power from. The Nine control what is known as unknown space, and you will find references to their affiliation with the globes usually associated with them. The Nine are beings composed of dark matter, who exist in some fancy space magic way associated with the planets. I mean, that's really the best way to put it. These beings are just dark matter on the planets in Destiny. The Nine's main purpose for being in Destiny isn't far off from many villains in the game either. They just want their own self-gain via the light or the dark. Well, 5 of the 9 want that. The other 4 just like being unbothered and in their own lane. A lot of villains want the light or dark to just do big spooky plans. But the 9, as far as we know, just want to wield the light or dark so they can free themselves from being immortal dark matter gods. Eventually living forever with no emotions has to be boring, right? The only thing I find confusing with the 9 is that if they are truly these immortal Great One types that have this ascended big brain, then why would they even give a thought to changing that? My best guess is that they're scared if the planets die to some great war, that they will also die with them since they're attached. This question is one that I hope gets answered in the future of the game though. The 9 were originally trying to get their light from those magic wish dragons that get cheesed and toenail clipped by us, the Ahamkara. The only one we have seen in Destiny is named Riven. But in a time before our story in Destiny started, a bunch of Guardians killed what they thought were all of the Ahamkara in what is known as the Great Hunt. The 9 were not too happy with this, but decided to let it play out, and this is where our story starts. The 9 sent over a trash collector / messenger for them, named Xur. Xur's purpose, other than to be a bro and drop off exotics and be voiced by Chris Pratt, is also to study us and the light, striking exotics as a bargain. It's important to note that Xur is not a member of the 9, as he even says,
"My will is not my own."
Xur descends from the Jovians, a place beyond the reef that Guardians haven't even explored yet and ruled over by the 9, as Xur is just a servant for them. Fun fact, Xur has a hunch because of a confrontation with the Guardian Orin, who is very important later on, so remember that name and write that down, and Mara Sov. Orin and Mara were investigating the disappearance of another character named Shur Ido, and confronted Xur about the 9's potential involvement. Spoiler, I don't think they were really involved. Xur denied it, but had his spine broken in the process, giving him that hunch. The 9's story wouldn't have anything until the Prison of Elders and House of Wolves with Skolas, the self-proclaimed Kell of Kells, trying to break into the Vault of Glass and getting clapped by us to be sent to the Prison of Elders. This prison was supposed to be the most secure prison in the entire universe and held all the big baddies. The 9 and what Skolas described tried to free him to be a gift to Mara Sov, or at least what they thought was one. You gotta remember, they think differently to us. So maybe the 9's version of a gift is like when your cat catches 8 dead mice and makes a little pile of them on the carpet for you when you come home. Thanks, Kevin. That's it for Destiny 1. And the next time we see the 9 is in content that has been... Ghaul and the Red Legion seemingly got through the tower pretty quickly, right? They blew it to smithereens, lots of death, 0-hour mission one day, also sunset, and every Destiny player might have asked themselves how this Cabal guy got through the defenses so quickly. Well, you see, the 9 did it! Sort of. The 9 wanted to see how someone who isn't a Guardian might interact with the power of the light. Would that being be punished, or would they flourish? So they did what anyone else would do, right? Just kidding, they hacked into the defense system and let Ghaul work out his plan, which, as you saw, turned Ghaul into the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and he blew up. Keep in mind, they didn't send Ghaul to do anything. They just knew what Ghaul was doing and without him knowing, gave him a little boost through the defense system. So yeah, the 9 are the reason we have the inferior Destiny Tower. Thanks, big head. We then pivot into another sunset activity in Destiny 2 that at this point most players have forgotten about. The Trials of Osiris. The 9. This is like sort of video game marketing more than anything, But it's our first big hint that the Nine are interested in us, as they use this activity to study our light-based combat and ask us questions about embracing the darkness. You may also wonder, who is Big Head? Is floating ventriloquist lady the same as Big Head? Is she the real villain? Well, Big Head is me. Hi. Big Head in Destiny is a former guardian named Orin. Orin was an awoken titan who broke Xur's back. Well, doing that has consequences. Those consequences are much like Spider-Man for getting bitten by the spider. It didn't mean she had superpowers.
Yo! Look at it turn out for our party!
But instead visions of the Nine. She then went to explore unknown space and learn more from those visions. Then when she got there, she was basically kidnapped by the Nine and changed into the Emissary, what the Nine describe as an upgraded version of Xur. She's basically one giant form of communication that's easy for us to wrap our heads around and floats without moving her mouth. I have no clue why she's a giant head. My guess is that she's watching you from a different universe, and so it shows up like that. Here, I don't know. Leave me a comment why you think, but apparently you can find her whole body out of bounds if you glitch out of it in Prophecy, so there's that. We would not hear a lot from the Nine for a very long time. It's been a while, huh? Like, I don't know, 5 to 10 seconds since we last talked. Trials of the Nine are gone, and Osiris won't be back in Half-Baked for another year. So in the meantime, we have the Season of the Horse, the Drifter, the Nine, Gambit, and Lore. This season is when Bungie was trying to pull an Edward versus Jacob, Vanguard versus Drifter, Light versus Dark. You get the gist. Basically, this season gave us insight into the Nine's plans, their desire for becoming physical beings, and their liking for certain characters that transcended their design. This means the Forgotten Blade, or Eris Morne, the Drifter, or the Dredgen, and the Hourglass, which we wouldn't find until Beyond Light, was Elsie Bray. Transcended design is the Nine's fancy way of saying characters that just embraced everything. They didn't swing one way in the light, one way in the dark. They've embraced both. This season also introduced us to Lavinia and the story of the box. This is one of the coolest stories in Destiny, by the way, and I highly recommend you read it on your own. This box that Lavinia found somewhere in the tower in the archives has this purple sand in it. She brought it to Xur, and Xur explained that the sand is the Nine, that they are dark matter. So Lavinia went on a mission to learn more, eventually ending up in what's best described as a portal to the Nine's world. Lavinia goes in and immediately understands the Nine and ascends to a higher level of thinking. It's then implied that some way or somehow Savathun kidnaps the Ascendant Lavinia and interrogates her for the information that she now understands. No clue how the Big S interrogates some sand, maybe fire, turning her into glass or something. This story is also what gives us insight into the Nine's factions. 5 of the 9 wanting light or dark, and 4 wanting to exist without any interference at all. So let's recap this chapter because there's a lot. The 9 are interested in guardians or just characters that transcend their design. It's why they speak to Mara Sov, it's why they're interested in the Drifter, Eris the Stranger, us, etc. This chapter also told us the story of how Savathun is somehow a role player in this story, how Orin came to be the emissary, and why there's a horse. Just kidding, that part's never explained. Later down the road, Prophecy would also talk about not fully trusting either light or dark, but embracing both. This is why Eris and Drifter narrate this dungeon and why the 9 led us to a prophecy in general, letting us in on why darkness and light need to both be in balance, showcasing darkness formed enemies while we fight said enemies with light. Side note, these platforms in the Kel Echo boss room are actually upside down pyramid ships. Now we jump to Beyond Light. which doesn't have a lot, aside from the stranger being revealed as the other figure for the Nine. Dares of Eternity also doesn't have a lot outside of Bungie introducing their own wild metaverse, like how Pixar has one and how Tarantino has one, with Marathon, Myth, Pathways into Darkness, and Halo somehow coming into play in this multiverse idea, which my friend Mylan Games made a video on and you should check out. There's even a theory that the Starhorse is supposed to represent Bungie. Yeah, I'll let you look that one up on your own. 30th Anniversary does have one important line that's worth noting, with the Forerunner Catalyst Xur gives you, giving evidence of the multiverse. But I think this is just Bungie having fun and breaking the fourth wall more than anything, even writing sunsetting into the lore. All right, cool. Now let's get into the extra juicy stuff. This is where we are now. We're in this place where the Nine want the light or the dark, but some of them want nothing and just like being cosmic gods. Let me start by saying that I doubt the Nine will be huge players in the Witch Queen, but instead big players in the seasons to follow, and then leading into Lightfall. Here's why. Savathun has a goal of having the light, and the Nine are probably studying this the way they were with Ghaul to see how it plays out. If it works well, then they may make a similar play at it. But if the big S dies, then they're probably gonna steer clear. Now, since the Ahamkara are dead, including Riven, and since Bungie's next big DLC is called Lightfall, I'm sure the light dies with it, which would then get the Nine pretty pissed. You mess with them once, shame on you. You mess with them twice, and the big head is out for bloodshed. That's just my theory though, and we'll have to see. I mean, who knows? I still have so many questions. Like, what does the Nine symbolism mean? Why haven't we seen one member? Are they really that powerful? When does Xur get a change of clothing? Who could they ally with if we lose? But that's really it for the Nine story. A group of misunderstood gods who will never truly be understood unless they want us to ascend to their ways of thinking. One day to be the villains or allies of our story. And with that being said, that's Lore for Dummies Episode 2 in the books. If you do have any questions, want to talk, whatever, be sure to drop them in the comments or on Twitch at EvanF1997, where we wrote this with the help of Mylan Games, Zacadian Wolf, and all of Twitch chat together. Also, be sure to subscribe, and until next time, have a great day.